There is one thing every story needs, whether it's a short story, a play, a screenplay, or a novel. Every story needs this one thing. And I'm not talking about characters, setting, or structure, however important they are. I'm talking about conflict. To quote the great Sid Field, all drama is conflict. Without conflict, you have no action. Without action, you have no character. Without character, you have no story. And without story, you have no screenplay. Of course, he was talking about screenplays, but this is something that you can apply to all types of storytelling. Truthfully, conflict is the heart of any story. Even if a lot of people nowadays would like to read or watch stories where the characters face no type of conflict, for reasons that I do not quite understand, every good story has conflict in it. Yes, it may make us uncomfortable, it is probably painful, but it's the greatest way to get an audience to engage with your story, to root for your characters, to empathize with them, and to want them to succeed or fail. If you want examples of how to use conflict properly, I can talk about either a show or a movie. As regards shows, I can mention Chief of Staff, which is a K-drama starring Lee Jung-jae. This political K-drama becomes amazing, in my opinion, thanks to its use of conflict. Basically, Lee Jung-jae's character, who is also the protagonist of the story, of course, constantly faces conflict after conflict. And we get to see him grow as a character, but at the same time, the action is developed and the story is developed. Basically, we have a screenplay. We have several screenplays for several episodes across 2 seasons. In a way, the same can be said for the example that I was gonna give regarding movies, which was Mission Impossible. That franchise has been built on conflict. Basically, Ethan Hunt has to deal with a new problem every movie, and sometimes several problems as the movie progresses, and we get to see him develop as a character, but also all the characters that surround him. And that's without mentioning all the action sequences that we get thanks to the conflict. So again, thanks to conflict, we get action, thanks to action, we get character, thanks to character, we get story, and thanks to story, we get all the screenplays, all the books, all the short stories we have ever read or watched. Now, I will admit I have had issues writing conflict, especially when I first started writing, because I'm a person who dislikes conflict in real life, so I found it difficult to include it in my stories. But as time went on and as I learned more about storytelling, I realized I really had no choice, and I had to accept that in order for a story to work, it needs conflict.